fucking video. I haven't posted in a minute, but so today we're gonna be fucking removing everything to cam my truck. The tranny fucked up again. I've had fucking multiple problems with this shit, with the transmission fucking up and shit, and I haven't had it running good, but I got the transmission out the other day and I took it apart and shit, and I'm gonna fucking go through it and fix it up. But I already have a cam for this truck. I just need the valve springs, the lifters, and I'm gonna put a high volume oil pump in it. So I'm gonna pretty much just take it apart today and fucking say fuck it, because I mean, I'm gonna get everything in, I'm gonna order all the stuff, and then I'm gonna fucking just slap everything in, just to have everything ready, you know, have everything apart. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now, so y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna show you guys step by step how to do a cam swap. All right, so what we're gonna be doing first is obviously getting the fan shroud out and shit like that, and then I'm gonna be taking off the fan, and then I got some electric fans for this shit too, so I gotta order a harness so I can pin it to the computer and then have it tuned for that. I don't know if I'm gonna install them. I'll probably wait until I get it tuned and then slap them in. I mean, it's not too hard to get them in. But so yeah, I'm gonna start getting this shit apart. You have to take off the intake manifold. If you're just doing cam and springs, you just have to pretty much, you can leave that shit on there. You just have to take the whole front of the engine apart. But since I'm gonna be taking the heads off and shit to put new lifters and all that shit, I'm gonna obviously need to take all this off. So but if anything, I'll get all the shit from the front apart so I can show you guys what all y'all would need to just do the cam swap without removing everything. And then for the valve springs, like I'm saying, you can just pop the valve covers on the side and then do them. But yeah, so I'm gonna have the heads off, so I'm gonna just do the valve springs while they're out and putting all new seals on the heads and shit like that, and new gaskets. But yeah, so what I'm gonna be doing right now, oh shit, what the fuck. But yeah, so what I'm gonna be doing right now is removing this fan shroud, and then I'm gonna be removing the fan. I'm gonna take off the water pump, all the brackets and shit in the front, and then I'll get to more of the other shit. It just has those two little clips right there, and it has two on the other side, and then it has two bolts on the top, and it pops up from the top. And then once you get the fan out, you can take out the bottom piece. I already got the top fan shroud off with the intake. And then so I was gonna take this fan off, but I don't have that fucking tool. But I can take off the water pump and it's gonna come off with it, so you necessarily don't even need to take it off. So just leave it on there. And then so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this belt off. All you need is I don't know if it's a fucking 15, it might be a 15. And then you pull the tension off, take the belt off, and then you're gonna access your water pump, and then you're gonna need to remove this alternator bracket, I believe, or you might not even have to. Oh shit, there's a fucking socket back here. Look, I don't know if y'all can see that shit. Fucking socket fell back there. But yeah, so I'll be removing this water pump. Let me get these hoses off so then I can show you guys kind of how it goes. All right, so you're gonna have one hose from your radiator that connects to that thermostat. I took that one off and I just put it up here. You can drain it, but I'm not gonna drain it right now because I'm not gonna take the radiator out yet. But and then there's this top one. Here's that one right there. I put it down there because if you lift it up, fucking drops water. But then you have these two heater core hoses right here that you're gonna have to remove. And then you're gonna have or you can leave this pulley on here. It connects to the water pump, so it's gonna have 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. There's another bolt back here. 4, 5, and then I believe there's one down there, so 6 holding the water pump, and then it's all gonna come off with the fan, so no need to take off the fucking fan. So let me get these 6 bolts off, and then let me get this water pump off. or after I take those clamps off. All right, so just like that, I got the 6 bolts off and the fucking water pump comes out. Just be careful with your fucking radiator if you haven't taken it out yet. Oh shit. So there's that bullshit. Now, all right, yeah, so you don't even have to take this bracket off. As you can see right there, you got the fucking cover now. So pretty much after this, if you were just gonna do the cam swap and the valve springs, you just pull this harmonic balancer off and then take your timing cover off and then set it to TDC to where the lines, the dots line up. And then you can pretty much fucking, there's 2 little holes, and then you're gonna slide rods in there to hold the lifters up if you're not removing the heads. And then you can pull your cam out, because if you just pull it out without putting those rods in, your lifters will fall into the fucking oil pan, and then you'll be in a fucking situation. So then you'll need to fucking take the heads off. So that's one thing that you guys gotta be careful with. But so for me right now, what I'm gonna start doing is taking off this intake. If you're gonna do lifters and all that shit, so we can go from here. You're gonna have a couple, I believe they're like 8mm bolts, 8 or 10s, all along the sides. And then you just disconnect like your fuel line, and then what else? And it has like little hoses and shit attached to it, but it's not too much. So let me fucking get this little cover off. It's just a little bolt on there, so let me get it off. So I already disconnected everything. All the fuel injectors, as you can see, this shit's all loose now. It has little tabs on the sides. And now I'm gonna remove all the 8mm bolts, and this is gonna come out. Wait, I forgot there's another connector back here. And then there's gonna be one right here too. I believe that one's for like your NOx sensors or some shit, but you're gonna wanna pop it off from there so that you don't fucking bring it with you when you pull the intake off. So now, just like that, this shit comes out. It's gonna have this little hose that connects right there. I'll show you guys right now, but it has this other one that goes to the brake booster, and then this one, it just pops out through the back. So you're gonna have these 2 little hoses that connect into the front where the throttle body is. And then that hose that came off goes back here, right there. So if you got into this step, now you got your intake off. And then if you're gonna get your heads off, you're gonna pop those valve covers off, and then you're gonna break all your head bolts loose and then take the heads off. All right, so I took this valve cover off now because I'm gonna take off the heads. It's just gonna have 4 bolts, they're 8mm, and it's gonna come off with your coil packs. And then, so right here, you have your valves, well, not your valves, your valve springs and your fucking rockers and all that shit. Check out how clean this shit is, man. This motor only has like 150 something thousand miles, I believe. And that's what happens when you change your oil regularly. Your shit looks like this. So now to take off the head bolts, you can see they're all along right here. You're gonna have to take off your rockers to access all of them, but you got another one right here. But so you gotta unbolt your exhaust. As y'all can see, I got headers, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. It should have 6 either way though. So I'm not gonna remove the whole header. I'm gonna just, well, either way right now it's fucking if I unbolt it, I have no exhaust on it because I took the tranny out, so it's gonna fall either way. So, but I mean, if you have your exhaust manifold, you can just loosen them and pry them a little bit to the side. You can take the fucking head out without having to remove everything, just so you can get access to those little bottom bolts. They're right here on the head, right there, right there, right there, and right over there. And then there's one on the back side. But I'm gonna finish up taking this side apart and see what this one looks like, and then I'll get back to you. All right, guys, so I already took off the crankshaft bolt. It was a 24 millimeter. I don't know where the fuck it's at, but so I had to get the puller to remove it. What I did was I went to AutoZone or O'Reilly's and I rented this Chrysler one. And so usually you use these things and it'll stop it, you know, like it'll hit in the back of the crank and be able to get it out. But what I did was take the bolt off of the Chrysler one, and then I had one like this, and I took the long ass bolt out, and I used that bolt into the Chrysler one using one of these little things and the tip. And as you can see right here, it's about to come out, so watch. See, it came off. So let me see where I left that little thing. I guess it fucking fell down, son of a bitch. Oh, there's the fucking crank bolt, and then there's that little thing. Let me get it. So as you can see, this is the Chrysler one, but I'm telling you guys, this bolt is longer than the one it comes with. So then you get one of these little things and you'll put it at the end right here, and this pretty much stops right there on the crank, and it'll give you enough bolt to be able to pull the whole balancer off. And then to install it, you can just use your old bolt and just go slowly, and then put a new bolt on when you're done. So yeah, but pretty much now I'm gonna just remove this timing cover. It just has I believe they're like, I don't know if they're 10s or fucking 13s on the front, and then it has 2 on the bottom for the oil pan that are right under here that you gotta remove, and then the front cover will come off. And then obviously you gotta take your lifters out, or else those shits are gonna fall into the fucking oil pan. So I'm gonna do that right now, take the lifters out and then pull this cover. All right guys, so I got a bit ahead. I already got the cam out. You can use your water pump bolts to put them on the front right here to be able to pull it out. I already got all the lifters out and everything. You're gonna have your timing chain. You're gonna line up the dots to TDC, and this is gonna be up your #1 piston, I believe. I think it's 1 or 2. I think it should be 1. And then this is your timing chain sprocket, and then you're gonna have this little plate. They're all 10 millimeter bolts, and you can get it out. I already put some fucking assembly lube on this bitch. You guys can see, this is the one I used. I got it at fucking AutoZone. So now what I'm gonna do is put this cam in, and then I can put all that shit back together. And I'll have to change the oil pump. I don't know if I'm gonna have to take off the oil pan at the bottom to take off the pickup tube, but so I'm gonna put this cam in right now. All you gotta do is just be slow, gentle in. I'm gonna try to record it and show you guys, so stay tuned. All right, so I'm gonna add a little more of this shit, just cause they can never lube it up enough. The more lube, the easier it slides in. Spit on that hoe. But yeah, all right, so let me see if I can fucking try to do this shit one-handed. So let me fucking rip this bitch on here. Oh yeah, boy. So now we're gonna go in slowly. Oh, come on, bitch. Come on. Come on, come on. You wanna kinda like wobble it up, you know, so it can slide in perfectly. And now you can see it's going in. And that hose in. I use the water pump bolts like I told you guys, and now I can spin this hole. Make sure it spins freely up in this bitch. And that's how you fucking do the cam swap. Alright, so these were the little holes I was telling you guys right here. You can stick some rods in there. I'm not sure the size, but that's if you're not taking out the lifters or the heads. You can put some rods in here and it'll hold your lifters up. But as you guys can see there, the cam's in. So let me get the front all back together and shit. You're just gonna do the same process. This little notch is gonna line up on your sprocket, so it'll keep the dot down. So let me get all this other shit back together. Alright guys, so I got one of these. It's the thrust plate for the front of the cam. I already took off the oil pump. I dropped the fucking bolts in the oil pan, so I'm gonna have to fucking take the oil pan out. I had just loosened it to be able to get that bolt off for the pickup too, but I fucking dropped the bolt in there along with another bolt, so I'm gonna have to drop the oil pan. Here's this, and then here's the old oil pump, and then the timing chain, and then I got a new one right here. I just got one of the stock ones. I mean, I got it at AutoZone. I was gonna put a more heavy duty one, but I'm not trying to fucking wait. So, I mean, either way, bucket, full send. So yeah, let me get this timing chain on. So I'm gonna put this on, and then you torque these these are the springs I'm using for 60 lift. So here's the new, then there's valve stem seals. These are the old ones. These come black and orange. These are just the same. So what you're gonna wanna do, so I got some little oil right here. Just put the bottom a little bit in there. Get it wet. Now slide that bitch on here. And you should just push it down, and it's gonna pop in place. So I'll do the same thing. Get a little bit of oil. Pops right into place. So then after that, get your valve spring, put it on top. Get the other one, put it on top. And you get your little hats. I guess whatever the fuck you want to call them. Then you get this, put it back on. What the fuck happened to my nut? Yeah, I'm fucking losing everything over here. There it is. So put your nut back on. So now you just get your little locks back, pop them in there. Puta madre. Ando valiendo verga. Shit's a lot pretty hard with one fucking hand to do all this shit. But let's see. Put that other one back in there. One of them fell out, so there we go. Now I'll put this one in. And reverse it. Alright guys, so I'm adding the new lifters. As you guys can see, I put a new tray on it too. I've had these soaking for probably like a day already. You don't have to fucking soak them that much, but as you guys can see, these holes are just gonna pop in like that. And then you put your little bolt on it. And that's pretty much all you do to put your lifters in. I'm not sure what you torque these to, but just kind of tighten it down to you know where you think it's tight enough. But what I'm gonna be doing now is putting the heads back on. I already cleaned up the whole surface and everything, so I'm gonna be putting the new head gaskets. As you can see, I have the lifters in there, but I got the head gaskets right here. Already put all the lifters in on this side too. So let me clean up this with brake cleaner on this side and put the new head gaskets on, and then pretty much put the head back on. Alright guys, so I already put the heads on and the intake. I just have a couple more things to hook up. On the heads, you gotta torque those to 22 foot-pounds. There's a certain sequence and everything. You're gonna have to look that up, because then you have to do like 90 degrees and some shit like that. But I already got all that on. So what I'm gonna be doing is putting the oil pump on now. I already took off the oil pan because I dropped these two fucking bolts into the oil pan. But so I'm gonna put the oil pump on right now. I already cleaned up the oil pan. I went to go wash it up and shit, so it's pretty clean now, so I don't fucking get all kinds of shit on my hands whenever I put this together. But yeah, so let me get this oil pump on. It should be pretty straightforward. Just put it on, pop it on, and you're gonna thread your bolt in. So alright guys, so I'm gonna put the timing cover on now. I got my new gasket on there. What you're gonna want to do is put a little bit of RTV on the bottom corners where it leads to the oil pan, just in case, so you don't get no leaks. So let me go ahead and bolt this up and cover this up so I can put all my front shit on. And then after that, I just gotta torque the oil pan. I already put my pickup tube on. Then I gotta put the rest of the rockers and the push rods on this side. I already put them on this side. So let me go ahead and get this on real quick. Alright, so whenever you tighten this cover, you're gonna want to tighten the bottom bolts on the oil pan first, and they're gonna torque to 18 foot-pounds on all of them. Do the bottom ones first, and then do the rest to 18 foot-pounds. And you can do it like in a crisscross pattern so it seats evenly and everything. So let me get this shit torqued real quick. Alright, so I'm gonna put the water pump on now. I already put the new gaskets on it. And I put my new balancer bolt. And I put all this on. I already got the covers on the sides. So all I gotta do is put the coils on and connect the water pump to the radiator. Be done. Transmission, but I'm gonna try to turn it on without the transmission to see what it sounds like. So I think I just have to bypass like the neutral safety switch. So let me get all this shit together and then I'll go ahead and fucking start.